Good morning, guys. This is Richard back at you. We got Chavez's GMC 2500 in the house, two-wheel drive, 2013 6.0. Got a 6L90 in it, and Trent thinks that there's going to be a lot of stuff in the pan. The way the fluid
it in with a rope.
With a rope. Well, you can look at the fluid here. I already pulled the converter out, and you can just see what the fluid looks like.
I'm not excited.
Teresa says it smells pretty good.
Oh, man. No.
Really nice, huh?
I'm not excited. Showing my feet.
No, I'm not going to do that, Teresa. You want me to? Teresa's all protected today. She's got some really nice clothes on. She's scared I'm going to splatter her. The old lockup seal, of course, it's just plumb wore out, flat on this side. Probably wasn't sealing very good.
There's already fluid leaking
Out of the front of it through here.
Ooh, that smells terrible.
Looks pretty dry.
Oh, that looks like right through there.
No, that looks dry. Whatever I say. It's not even barely past lunch. 1:30. 1:30 to Teresa's like working overtime.
I was gonna mow today.
Look at that.
Goodness. Yep.
Gonna be a lot of metal in the pan on this thing here. Of course, we have our case to tail housing O-ring. So you always want to look at that bushing right there. Make sure it ain't wiped out. Things are heavy, heavy, heavy. I won't splash you, I promise. We actually got a couple of these we got to do before we get out of here for vacation. Woo!
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh.
I almost think I got a whiff of this one.
Oh, this stinks so bad.
Look at that, guys. Look at that magnet.
Yep.
Gonna take a lot of cleaning to get that thing looking good. Let me move this converter really quick, Teresa. Get me some more room in there. There we go. That old filter is plumb plugged up. Think there's any metal on the top of there?
My gosh, yeah.
You think we're gonna have to put a pump and bell housing and stuff in this thing? No. I bet we. Yeah, I bet we do, huh?
Put it all in this one.
Mm-hmm. So this is our park reverse neutral switch here. Yeah, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Well, I thought I had everything laid out here. Let me get my... Tools are scattered this week. Literally scattered. Well, and they're still scattered. I just had that thing. Where did it go? I tell you guys, sometimes I can lay down stuff and don't see them. And I guarantee you, y'all have done that before. And this ain't my 10 I'm looking for. I'm looking for my 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter. There's one. I got like 5 of them, and all of them are hiding from me.
No, it's only because you're looking for it.
Oh, guarantee it. See this thing here, probably full of metal.
Oh,
This tranny is just covered in metal. Our detent spring. So we'll get our lock undone right here. You can push on this little piece right here. Push that in and pull up on that. And then I like to kind of just tap on this a little bit, kind of loosen it up. And then you can grab it and just kind of pull on it real gently. Work it out, it comes right out. There's multiple O-rings on here. You got a square cut ring here on the end, and then 2 round ones farther inward. So they make sure it don't leak. But they leak anyway. So, kind of like the Fords.
Yeah.
They leak like crazy. Okay. We have our longer bolts here that attach the valve body to the case. Some of these are like 5 miles long. Really long bolt. I think that's it. Now the valve body is doweled. It'll only go in one way. It's got a dowel on this end and a dowel on the other end. See one here, and then one right here. And then we have our case seals right here to valve body. And then we have some more right here. The overhaul kit will come with all of these. Look at the metal down in here, Teresa. It's full of metal. You just rub it. It's embedded everywhere. That metal there, you can put this, if you put this case in the washing machine, just like this, the washing machine is capable of sealing some of that material into the pores of the metal. That's why we use a solvent, and then we use air to clean all the pores of the metal and get all that gray out of here before we can put it in the parts washer. That's pretty much a must. Everything's hand cleaned here. Nothing is physically just thrown in the parts washer except the case, tail housing, pan, and stuff like that. Got 2 8mm here. And then we're going to have some 7s and some 10s through here. I'll take this off first. As much metal was in this unit here, even though we didn't have any codes, we're not going to take a chance with this Tecum here. We're going to get rid of it. It's just not worth taking that chance with it. So we'll get out of there. We have our speed sensors here. This is a plug for it. But you can see here, even the metal makes it all the way to the screen for your solenoids. Just look at all this metal in here. Mm-hmm. And you can pop this off. That, and then there's just metal just gets everywhere, even on your pillow switches here. It's just not worth taking a chance with this piece here. Just throw it away and get you another one. And unfortunately, once you do that, then of course it's got to go to the dealer to be flashed, or you got to flash it yourself if you got the capability. Bunch of little 7mm there. 7mm. And then we got a 10. I believe these are 7 again. Don't want to splash you, Teresa. Some good looking shoes you got on there.
They're covered.
They are covered.
They are
and
covered.
I see a splatter on them, so you did good.
Yeah, I sure did.
But anyway, we got some more 7s through here. Got 5 of them there, and we got a 10 up here on this little mountain. How I remember. A little high spot there. Very simple.
Every time you use your socket and stuff, it spins fluid and it just slings it.
There we go. Now this is a 7-ball valve body here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That fluid looks really nice, doesn't it?
That is very strong.
All the check balls were there, so that's a plus. None of them were missing. And we're going to come in and look at this plate here, kind of show you guys something that we learned a few weeks back. And actually there's a bulletin being made now on it. And what's crazy, we got one of these plates brand new from the dealer, and it was the same way again. I got splattered that time. If you look at this little hole right here, I don't know if Teresa can zoom in on this hole right here. See how that the machine that made that hole actually hit the plate and crimped it shut. You see that?
Kind of, sort of.
There you go. See how that's crimped shut?
Yeah.
Well, you need to drill that hole out to a 30 thousandths hole. That's not very big, but you definitely need to do that. I believe there's some 4, 5, 6 clutch codes you get if this is too small, something like that. So that's a must. Like I say, even my brand new plate I got the other day, that was beat up the same way. So we got a lot of work that's going to be done in here. We've got our transgo kits. We got our zip kit from Sonex that we're going to be using in this too. So going to be doing a lot of air checking, checking our caps on the ends here for leakage, stuff like that. The zip kit from Sonex comes with these plugs that have rings on that will seal all these end caps and stuff, so it makes it really nice. A lot of work that's going to be done there to make that good again. Okay. So Teresa, do you think this failed from converter? Probably.
Well, there's a lot of metal in there.
Definitely a lot of metal.
A concrete company.
Yes.
Truck, and I'm pretty sure that they
You think they use it?
use it.
Yeah, I bet so.
And non-stop. It does not quit.
Now these units don't have a gasket, paper gasket that goes around the pump body in the case. They physically just have an O-ring that seals it. There's no pressure physically going through the case like on normal transmissions, like on your 4060s and stuff like that. All the pressure is physically going through these channels here instead of coming through the backside and going through the case through here. So big change. How many more days to vacation, Teresa?
Today's Thursday, so next week, and that's it. We're done on Friday.
We're done?
We're done on Friday for a week.
Now, the stator and the bell housing assembly has a dowel pin right here that sets in the case, lines it up, and then once you set that in there, it still moves back and forth. So what we have is a pump alignment tool that physically goes around there. You tighten down and it lines it up. That way you can torque it back down and it physically aligns everything up, because you just can't, I mean, you can line that up multiple ways if you don't use that. So I'd say we got a bad pump stator assembly.
Yep. I would say so.
Let's see what our pressure regulator valve looks like. Let me see if I can get that out of there. There we go. You can push this in and out a little bit and this pin will fall right out. Then you can pull this assembly out. Now we only use factory pump stators and pump bodies on these units. We're not using any type of rebuilt ones. Even though we have wear here and this piece is no good, it's destroyed. If you notice on this valve right here, this valve right here is wore plumb out. Look here.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's smashed.
See how that's wore out?
Yeah.
Now they have a low side and a high side, and a lot of times these valves will wear on one side. It'll be perfectly round on one side, and the other side will be totally missing. All types of erratic pump pressures, all that type of stuff. Now, as bad as this valve is, the bore could be just not any good at all. We'd probably have to ream this one. We could put a Sonex replacement valve in there and try it, because they do make a really nice updated valve. If not, we physically have the fixture to where we can bore this out and make it new again, if this right here was good. But being this is bad, I mean, we'll just chunk it in the trash. Pretty simple.
Yep.
Same way with this piece here. We replace every one of these. We haven't done a job yet that we haven't. And we replace them, like I said, with all GM parts. So. Now on your pivot pin, the spring is mounted to the end of it. It will come off. You can replace the pin if it's wore out. On the 4L60s, the spring and pin's separate. These here on the 4L60s, it's steel. This is Teflon. And there still is an O-ring in here still. But you got a Teflon cover, okay? Make two different thicknesses of this, so you want to mic it and make sure you're using the right one. Matter of fact, they didn't ship us our pump rebuild kits, Teresa. We were supposed to get 2 of them, and we didn't get none. So we got to get onto that too. Unbelievable. We're waiting on our bushing kits too. We didn't get them today neither. So, but anyway, our pump rotor, all this stuff will be changed in a kit. We buy a complete kit. You have your pump slide spring. Sonex does make a stronger pump slide spring that keeps the slide in the high pressure mode a lot longer, a lot better. This is wore plumb out. I mean, it's just rutted. It's wore out. Now we'll take the plug out of here. We'll take the vent tube out of here. And we will take the snap ring out of here that holds the front seal in, like that. And then we will throw this away too. I've got a trailer full of them right now that if something ever happens in the world that we can't get any new ones, we will try to use a company to have some refurbished and kind of check them out and see what they look like. But right now, this shop only uses GM. So that's a big plus, guaranteed. Huh, Teresa? I'm losing my mind. Okay. We have our 3rd, 5th, and reverse clutch here. Kind of look at it and see what it looks like. Getting a little dark, but not just wiped out. And then I have our 1, 2, 3, 4 clutch here. Now I'll put this back together and we'll do air checking on these drums just to make sure we don't have no cracks or anything like that. Now One thing about these snap rings right here, if you notice this snap ring right here, the groove is lower. So you want to make sure you put the opening of the snap ring right here and right here. If you put it over that, the snap ring is going to pop out when it goes to that clutch. You start using that clutch. So you got to be really careful on that, okay? Just on the top one though. Okay. Here we got some problems here in this clutch here. So that's why we're definitely going to put this back together and air check this thing. Make sure we don't have some type of crazy crack around here. Also the piston inside, let me show you this piston since I'm not going to take that apart. But I'll show you a crack in this one here. This piston is in this drum, so see that crack?
Yeah.
We always want to check for that type of stuff. And then if we get a new piston, we'll come in here and Scotch-Brite all this up through here. Anywhere a new seal is going to be running, we're going to Scotch-Brite it. Okay? Piston looks good, put it in. Here's our wave here that broke on one of our units. Not our units, but one that we rebuilt. So, but anytime you see it burnt up like that, always go back and look for a crack, no matter what. So, and you might not find one. It could have been just it's time to go. Let's see, 146,440 miles on this unit. You know, not too bad, but like I said, this goes to a concrete company, right, Teresa?
Right. And they probably don't have any time to stop ever.
Yeah, or probably service and maintenance or something like that. Always making money. See, the sun gear, you always got to look at this, both sides. Always try to remember how it come out. That way I know which side is the load side. The other side kind of is a coast side, so same way with your planetary, you want to look at all your rollers, make sure they look good, any purpling of pins or anything. 6 pinion. Of course, we have a washer here, 6 tab. Then we have a bearing here. And we have our 456 clutch right here. Now you can air check this drum here to here. Do that real quick. I don't have to put it back together since it's already together. I can hold this hole on this side and put some air on here, and then you can watch this clutch right here at work. See, and it's holding pretty good. We've got a lot of clutch clearance. I can tell that the clearance is way off, but it's probably just the clutches are wore out. But it's not cracked. The drum ain't leaking around in here or anything like that when you hit it. So always Scotch-Brite these areas where your bushings are going to run. And here we go again. Now, you notice this one did check good. Well, Mike's falling off. But being that it made so much metal, plugging the filter up could cause this clutch to fail, could cause this clutch to fail, and not be any cracks or anything like that just because the filter starved the tranny. So. So anywhere a bushing runs, you want to Scotch-Brite it. You got a little bitty bearing down here on your 456 clutch hub. Got the spacer, shaft looks good. All these shafts are really dark like that, so it doesn't mean that it's going to snap next time or anything like that. This looks good still. Even though you see like tinting or something like that, there's really nothing there. You can Scotch-Brite these two ends up and it looks brand new again. Same way with this area here, and same way with this area here. You got bushings here. You notice this bushing's always dimpled. The bushings will not interchange anywhere in the tranny. One won't fit anywhere else. They're all specified in their area, and some of them, 90% of the bushings in this tranny here, they're below surface. Okay, some of them are flush. This see below surface. But we do have some in this unit that the bushing's flush with the top right here. So Our bushing drivers that we use will put these to the exact depth that they need to be. And then you got old Mother Nature right here. This big old snap ring.
Put your muscles into it.
I'm telling you, huh? There you go. Tapered on one side, flat on the other, tapered comes out. So we have our 2/6 clutch here. This is the wavy I showed you that broke. I got a bunch of them over there. I bought like 12 of them once I found out that these come in broke sometimes. I'm really good at that. So clutch ain't burned up. And then you have your low reverse clutch here. Not burn up neither. These clutches, some of them, you can take the new clutch and soak it. Once you soak it, it looks just as black as that. So you'd think it was already used and burnt up, but it's not. And we have our lower sprag here. And anytime you take this snap ring out, this piece will usually fall down like that. And then people put this back together and they can't get the snap ring and they don't realize you got to pick this back up and hold it to get the snap ring back in. Get that out of there. But anyway, we'll take the rest. This has got to be pressed apart to get this sprag assembly apart and get the piston and stuff out of there. This big old plant here. Now we do have a bushing right here that needs to be replaced. Oh, there's a hole right there. Some people don't, they just put them anywhere. But I always like to line the hole up with this piece right here. I don't know why, I just always do. Of course, our lower ring gear, want to clean it up really good, get all the metal off it. Check the ring gears for any type of wear on the front and back side of each tooth. This bushing here always needs to be replaced. It's holding a lot of weight. So the main thing is match your bushings up before you cut them out to make sure you have them, because some of our bushing kits will not come with all the bushings. Then you're going to be in trouble. See this big old planetary, just want to scroll, what did I say, scroll it around?
Scroll.
Yeah, around. Look at every gear for any pitting or anything like that. Now we started popping these covers off and we got a Sonex cover coming. We're going to start replacing every one of these. The Sonex cover, I believe, corrects fluid travel, or directs fluid travel better to the pins and stuff on the planetary. So that's going to be another upgrade that we're going to be doing to all of our units. So I mean, there's just a lot of stuff you have to do to these units to make them last anymore. A lot of stuff. You know, our BNI billet converter we're going to be putting in here. That's a must too. So a lot of Transgo parts, our zip kit Sonex stuff here, all your bonded pistons, just a lot of stuff. Also, I want to throw this in. I want to thank the gentleman for giving us some headlights. Trent and them like them really well. They're a little hot in the summer. They're going to be really good in the winter because in the wintertime it's a lot darker under the lifts and stuff like that, so it's going to work really good. We want to definitely thank you for that. But anyway, guys, this is 6L90. Got another 6L80 Cody's pulling out, fixing to bring in here, so we got a ton of work to do before we get to go fishing. Right, Teresa? Don't forget to subscribe, push that notification bell, guys, because the next one is coming. Have a great day.